Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Brooklyn Technical High School Virtual College Fair. My name is Shauna, and I'm going to be your facilitator for today. And we're so excited to have you participating in today's event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. They will each be given 6 minutes to share information about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer any of your questions. Your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists can't see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type any of your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening, so make sure you're checking out the schedule, especially the schedule for Wednesday and Thursday on our website. The presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/BrooklynTech. And I will now turn it over to our first presenter, Goucher College.
There we go. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Megan Steely, and I am the admissions counselor at Goucher College. Goucher is located just outside of Baltimore, Maryland. We're about 20 minutes north of the Inner Harbor. So we're about 3 hours from your home. And with this, we also, we're located on a traditional residential campus and yet have that access to the city, both for recreational purposes, but also internship opportunities as well. And we're only about an hour from Washington, D.C. When it comes to our school, we are a private residential liberal arts college with about 1,100 undergraduate students and about 900 graduate students. Those graduate students are mostly doing online programs. So the focus on campus is that small student faculty ratio and small class sizes. Our average class size is about 15 to 20 students. The largest class that you would have would be about 60 students that would still be divided into smaller lab groups. So you're able to build relationships with your professors and your fellow classmates. When it comes to our student body, about 60% of our students are coming from out of state, and about 40% are coming from the state of Maryland. About 40% of our students are students of color, about 40% are members of the LGBTQ community, about 20% are first generation students, and about 25% are student athletes. When it comes to academics at Goucher, we are focused on interdisciplinary learning. And so with this, you will take 3 interdisciplinary seminars, beginning with your first year seminar, where you're focused on a specific topic of interest to you, focusing on your critical thinking skills, your problem solving skills, and your group work skills in courses such as Where the Wild Things Are, looking at the history of wilderness, a course on musical identity and censorship and journalism. You'll then take 2 complex problem exploration classes, where you're focused on one topic from an interdisciplinary approach, such as disease and discrimination that looks at AIDS and diabetes from both a biological and a sociological standpoint. We then also have 3 areas of proficiency in data analytics, writing, and foreign language and culture. So making sure that you are strengthening all of those knowledge areas, both in the general sense as well as related to your major. And then we also have 2 institutional commitments in race, power, and perspective and environmental sustainability. So themes and topics that you will encounter throughout your 4 years. When it comes to majors, you do have until the end of your sophomore year to declare one. Most popular majors at Goucher tend to be psychology, biology, business, international relations, and creative writing. Many of our students will choose to double major or major and minor. So depending on what your interests are, you do have the opportunity to study both things. We also require that all of our students study abroad. This can be done either in a traditional semester abroad program where you enroll directly into an international university, or a 3-week intensive course abroad led by Goucher faculty. And with this, we're hoping that you will push yourself as far outside your comfort zone as you can stand. And there is no set requirement in how you complete your study abroad. So it can focus on your major, or it can just be a location that you want to go to. And additionally, there is no extra cost for these programs. We also have integrated career education into the curriculum for all 4 years. So really making sure that you are set up for success come graduation. So whether it is in your first year, creating your resume and a cover letter, doing micro internships in your second year, or having a full-scale internship either in the Baltimore area during the semester or across the country during your third and fourth year. In terms of residential life, we are a residential campus. Housing is guaranteed all 4 years and for the most part required all 4 years, and first year students live in the first year village meant to foster community among our new students. We also have CREED, the Center for Race, Equity, and Identity, which was created in 2015 to celebrate students from various marginalized populations, as well as over 60 different clubs and student organizations and events put on through our student engagement team and our recreation and wellness team. Additionally, we also have 21 Division III athletic teams and an IHSA equestrian team as well. When it comes to post-graduation, 96% of our graduates are either employed or pursuing further education within a year of graduation at some top name universities and top name employers, but many are actually working in the nonprofit sector and giving some time of service as well, such as in the Peace Corps. And then when it comes time to apply, we are on the Common App with no application fee and have been test optional since 2006. We try to make this as easy as possible. All students are automatically considered for and receive merit scholarships based off of your high school achievements. And these scholarships range from $20,000 to $36,000 per year and are renewable for all 4 years as well. And then through submitting the FAFSA, about 97% of our students receive some sort of institutional aid. So we do try to make a Goucher education as affordable as we can. And then just to wrap it up, I'm happy to answer any questions that folks have. I do also encourage you to come visit our beautiful campus. We're open Monday through Friday, and as well as some select weekend dates. And we even have an open house coming up on April 23rd. So we would love to see you visit our campus. Thank you so much.
Thank you. As a reminder, we do have the Q&A as an option. So feel free to drop any questions you might have, and they are going to be sharing their contact information in the chat as well. All right, next up will be Hampshire College.
Hey everybody, greetings. I am going to start my screen share as nope, wrong one. Let's try that again, sorry. Here we go. There. Welcome, I'm from Massachusetts. I am originally a New York City resident. I grew up in New York in Queens, and I have been in Massachusetts for several decades now. Hampshire College is really one of the reasons I came to this area. My name is Bernadette Burke. I'm Associate Director of Admissions at Hampshire. And Hampshire is a small private liberal arts college. We've been around for 51 years doing things our own way in a really wonderful way. At Hampshire, you get to be the architect of your education. We ask you to really take charge of what you want to do and how you want to do it. And our classes are small. We have under 700 students, and most of our classes are under 15 students. You have a lot of access to different opportunities here, even though we are about 3 hours north of New York City. We have a tremendous amount to offer you with 5 colleges in our area. We offer narrative evaluations as well as a divisional system, which moves you through your 4 years a little bit differently than other schools. And also we give you narrative evaluations. That means that with narrative evals, you are getting long form constructive criticism to help you learn how to be your best learner, removing competition between students and allowing you to really concentrate on the content of the material rather than what your grade is all about being a learner continuously now and through the future. Additionally, we also use a divisional system in which you access things like real world problems. 50% of our classes are keyed to these 4 areas in one way or another. So we're asking you to address exactly what's going on in the world. We're not just asking you to sit and regurgitate information. We want you to be an active learner in what's happening. We want you to be a problem solver right now and as you move forward. The divisional system really allows you to customize your education, and you move through it in a 4-year system with 3 divisions. So the first year is Division 1. This is the place to really cast your net wide. Division 2 is where you dive deeply into what your areas of study will be. More than 85% of our students do the equivalent of a double major at Hampshire. We don't use the term major, we use the term areas of learning or areas of concentration, because we know it's more than just a singular major. We want you to combine majors, to layer them, to bring together things like art and sciences, to bring together sustainability and public policy, things that really matter in the world and how they're connected. And that's what the divisional system is about, especially in Div 2. It's about diving deeply, choosing the classes that are most meaningful to you. We don't dictate to you what classes you need to take. You get to choose them. And most excitingly, you get to develop a project in Division 3, which is considered new learning material. So you'll do the equivalent of a capstone project in another school, but rather than 1 or 2 classes, it's actually the equivalent of about 8 independent study classes where you are really both developing new knowledge and hopefully developing something brand new in your area of expertise. Additionally, we are part of a 5-college consortium: Smith College, Mount Holyoke College, Amherst College, and the University of Massachusetts at Amherst, which is the flagship campus of the university system here in Massachusetts, actually all developed Hampshire College. They said there is a way to do education differently, but we're not willing to take that risk. We'll develop a new institution. So in a very short span of geographic area, you have 5 colleges, 38,000 students. 4 of the colleges are private, and they are among the top colleges in the United States that have influential faculty, staff, students, and alumni. And with that, you end up with the opportunity to have an amazing amount of networking. You have 7,000 classes for no extra money. You get to design and put together what you want your areas to be. And then additionally, we ask you to truly be the person, oops, sorry, one too quick, to be the person who is developing where you want to take your education and how you want to move it forward. Hampshire is actually in the top 3% of US schools that send our students on to PhDs. We also have 65% of our students earn an advanced degree, either a master's or a PhD, within 10 years of graduating. 1 in 4 of our graduates go on to start their own business or a nonprofit. Our campus is, oh, sorry, let's go application process quickly, sorry. Application process, we are on the Common App. We do not charge a fee. We are test blind for 8 years now. We have been test optional from the beginning, and we ask you to tell us who you are holistically. And the very last piece is that we are giving merit awards to everybody. Starts at about $27,000, goes up to $35,000. You do not need to do any extra paperwork. We meet about 85% of your demonstrated need. And I believe my time is up. Super, thank you all for joining me tonight, and I hope you get to join us on campus. We have an open house on April 18th.
Thank you so much. All right, you guys are asking some great questions in the Q&A. Keep it up. All right, the next college that is up is the University of Massachusetts-Lowell.
All right, thank you. So let me just jump over here, of course, and oops, not do that, but all right. So, well, my name is Tom Screnchi. I'm one of the assistant directors of undergraduate admissions here at UMass Lowell. Jumping to some basic stuff, I am using a different presentation. As I told my colleague, my usual computer kind of just died on me, so I'm using a different presentation. But UMass Lowell is a medium-sized school. We're about 11,400 undergraduate students, an average class size of about 19. This presentation is way longer than 6 minutes, so I am going to jump through some slides just to kind of get to the point. This is our campus. Lowell is about 35 minutes north of Boston. Lowell's a medium-sized city. The first urban national park, Lowell Historical National Park, is obviously in Lowell. And I went to UMass Lowell. I live in the city of Lowell. I am super biased with this, but I love the area. I think it's one of the best parts, even in the country, to live, because there's a ton to do for fun off campus. You are literally 35 minutes or maybe a little bit more to Boston, to beaches, to hiking, to skiing, to obviously cities, because we're in one too. So you can really explore a lot of different things for fun related to majors, for internships, co-ops, that kind of stuff. We are a research school, so that is a pivotal part of every single program. And that location just makes it so much fun as a student and as a person to be able to do anything you want on any random day or random weekend. So it really is a lot of fun. East Campus is our campus closest to downtown Lowell, which is just off of the screen to the left. It is where most of the residence halls, the dorms are. A 5-minute walk over the bridge to north is where you find all of the engineering, business, and science classes. And then walking from east to south, it's about a 15-20-minute walk. If you walked, we have shuttles, of course. In South Campus, where you find all the arts, humanities, social sciences, and health sciences. I was a history major when I was a student here, and I can say, without exaggerating, that all my classes, except for 3, over the whole 4 years, were on South. Every major is very heavily focused either on North or South. Definitely makes our 11,000 plus students campus feel smaller. Another part of our campus and our student population is that we are rather diverse. I will definitely note that our country represented has dropped, and I'm going to blame COVID for that one. Students have decided not to come back, for a very good reason. But we are definitely a very diverse school. These are numbers you typically see growing. I say typically because, again, the country's represented dropped. I just call this the "we don't suck" slide. It shows up that we get rankings and awards for our accomplishments, for being sustainable, for just having a good pay after graduation, all that kind of good stuff. We do offer 120 programs of study, a lot of master's and doctorate programs. Something very enticing is that a majority of our master's degree programs do offer a 5-year track where you get a bachelor's and a master's in 5 years. These are the academic colleges. A good question people typically ask colleges is, what are you known for? If I had to give a one-word answer, which I would not want to, it would be engineering. UMass Lowell, more than anything, is a STEM school. However, the health sciences and music are phenomenally strong programs, and business is a fantastic program. Being near Boston, being in Lowell, it gives business students a great range, but we're a STEM school by trade, which kind of fits with being a research school, that working in the field as a researcher, doing independent projects is a very big thing for everybody in every major, but applies very good to engineering and sciences. The Honors College is like an honors program on a lot of steroids, as I like to say. You have all these different parts to the program. You get access to the Honors College LLC, which is a living learning community in the residence halls, in the dorms. There are over 7 of them for all sorts of various interests, for all sorts of, for any student rather, but Honors College LLC is just for honors students. Naturally, it's some of the more nicer, newer housing, so that's kind of that perk to it. So you do have that. The main office for our student support is the Centers for Learning, Advising, and Support Services, or CLASS. Nobody says either of those day to day. We all just call it the Centers for Learning. That's where you find all of the free tutoring, advising, a writing center, which is of course free. And the Riverhawk Scholars Academy is going to have a very big interaction with the Centers for Learning. The Riverhawk Scholars Academy is basically our community, which is this picture on the left here of all these students in basically light blue shirts. For all students who are considered first generation, it is a giant community of students for social and academic support. I am going to try to pick up my pace a little bit here, so do forgive me if I skip ahead some slides pretty quickly. Our Career Services Center offers these bigger services, more cliche services, you could say, like resumes and mock interviews, and is open to all students, even alumni, so you're always kind of able to use those services. These are some on-campus research opportunities or fundings of research opportunities that we do offer. But going on to more general categories, hands-on learning, like I said a few times, is a big piece of every program. There are 300 study abroad programs that go to 6 continents, so any major can go. Working with different industries, or partnering with different industries rather, is going to be something you can do. Doing a clinical placement or a practicum, service learning projects where you give back to a community or an individual possibly, are very cool opportunities you can definitely be a part of. Campus life is, as I like to just always just summarize, you can't be bored unless you're a boring person. I talked about the area of Lowell. There are hundreds of clubs and activities, more get added every year. So you have a lot of opportunity. We are Division I in sports, and there is our hockey arena, of course. Our basketball team plays there as well. But we do offer a lot of different options for housing, for eating. Lowell being a city, it is quite diverse. There are tons of international foods aside from your cliche college town pizzas and burgers, which you'll find, but you have a lot more options than that. And if I can squeeze in our admission stuff before I run out of time. I mentioned we're Division I in sports. I do apologize. Going a little quick here might be annoying to some of you. I get that. These are Division I sports here. And here we go, finally.
Yes, we do have to move on.
Oh, I'm sorry. My timer here was saying a few more seconds. I'm sorry. Thank you, guys.
We will share his information in the chat, so feel free to reach out to him afterwards today or later if you have any further questions about his institution. All right, so the next will be Barnard College. Thank you.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Danielle Schiestel. My pronouns are she, her, and I am coming to you from New York City, from Barnard College. Barnard is about a 45-minute train ride from Brooklyn Tech. So if that kind of puts us into perspective for you, we're in Morningside Heights. So this slide is what I like to kind of call our quick facts. What do you need to know about Barnard? Who are we at our core? So at Barnard College, we are a liberal arts college. And this means that we're an undergraduate college that has a really hands-on approach to your learning. Something unique about Barnard is you apply to the college as a whole, not the individual majors. And then our students take the first 2 years to take classes in all different fields. So you don't declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. And that just gives you some time to explore different areas and really get a feel for what we have to offer. The next big piece of our identity is that we are a women's college. So we were founded in 1889 as the sister college in affiliation with Columbia University when women were unable to attend, not allowed to attend Ivy League institutions. So we still have that partnership with Columbia. We are a women's college, and our students do get to take advantage of that large research Ivy League institution that is co-ed. It's right across the street from Barnard, and our students can take classes on both campuses. So you'll often find that there are Columbia students in the Barnard classroom and there are Barnard students in the Columbia classroom. There are some spaces that are just for Barnard students, so you get that traditional women's college identity piece as well. So in the residence halls, our student government, things of that nature are just for Barnard students. But then things like our Division I athletics, if you are thinking of playing at the collegiate level, we are NCAA Division I in the Ivy League. We share all of our athletics with Columbia, and then we share a lot of our resources. So a lot of the clubs and organizations at both schools are open to students on either campus. And then finally, the last big piece of our identity is that we are right here in New York, Morningside Heights, Harlem area, and our students are really interactive with the entire city as a whole. We take advantage of being here, of all the great internship opportunities and research opportunities and partnerships that we can have in such a vibrant city like New York. This is just to get a feel for the different types of majors that we offer. I know that this is a lot of information on one slide, so rest assured you can find all of our majors listed on our website. But you can see we really do have a little bit of everything. About a third of our students are STEM majors, and then we have really strong programs in the arts and the social sciences and the humanities. So a little bit of everything. All right, so as far as admission goes, I know that the admissions process can be a little daunting and a little bit confusing, and it's different from school to school, but rest assured we're all here as admissions professionals to help you through that. So with Barnard, when you apply, we have two different decision deadlines. We have our early decision deadline, which is the deadline that is binding. So you can apply to one school early decision. And this is saying, I know that I want to attend this school. If you admit me, I will be attending. And then we have our regular decision deadline, which you still have till that May 1st enrollment deadline to make a decision. So it's really up to you as the individual, as the student, what application deadline makes the most sense to you. We accept a couple different applications. We accept the Common App, the QuestBridge application if you are a QuestBridge match scholar, and then we also accept the Coalition application. So I'll go over the pieces of the application on the next slide, but just so you kind of get a sense of how selective Barnard is for the class of 2026 who we just admitted. So our students will be coming to us next year. We had about an 8% acceptance rate. 61% of those students were admitted in early decision. 21% of our incoming class for next year are first generation college students. 66% of our students coming in next year identify as students of color, and 10% of our students coming in for the class of 2026 are international students. So when you're applying to Barnard, what do we want to see? What do you need to submit to us? So like I said, Common App, Coalition App, or the QuestBridge app. And then we do have Barnard supplemental questions. So they're just a couple of short essays that let us know if you are the right fit for Barnard. Why are you applying to a women's college? Why do you want to stay in New York City? And what is it about Barnard that you will see yourself fitting into our community? We do need to see an official high school transcript, and your school will send us a secondary school report. Of course, we're very familiar with Brooklyn Tech. Standardized test scores, we are test optional, at least through the next 2 admission cycles. About half of our students who are admitted this cycle did apply without test scores. So it's truly test optional. It's been about half and half of students who submit test scores. We want to see 2 teacher letters of recommendation, 1 letter of rec from a school counselor. Interviews are optional. Sometimes we are able to offer them, but oftentimes we are not. And then we do, if you would like to submit supplementary portfolios, you're welcome to do so. And I see that I am also running out of time. So I'll just quickly say that as far as financial aid goes, you do apply to financial aid at the same time that you are applying to Barnard. And we do meet full demonstrated financial needs. So that's going to be based off of the FAFSA or the CSS profile. So I will let the next college go.
Thank you so much. And like I said before, their information's in the chat. And feel free to add all your questions in the Q&A. You guys are asking some really good ones. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Boston University.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm Brittany Sampson from Boston University. I'm the Associate Director for Multicultural Recruitment, so happy to be here. I'll give some brief info about BU. We are not your traditional campus. You can see we stretch about 1.5 miles long across what is called Commonwealth Avenue right in Boston. We sit right in Charles River, and you're right in the city. So we're very walkable, but you also have a few means of transportation to get around. When we are talking about BU, we are a research institution with a focus on the liberal arts. We have around 16,000 students across our 10 schools and colleges. Some popular schools and colleges, our most popular is our College of Arts and Sciences, which houses most of our liberal arts curriculum and houses about 200, or the majority of our 250 programs, or over 300 programs of study. When students are applying to BU, they will apply to 1 school in college. However, you do have the flexibility to add an additional major, add a minor, to switch. It's kind of the beauty of going to a larger institution. You have a lot of time to explore, especially because you do not have to declare your major until the end of your sophomore year. When you are in the classroom, you are in a classroom size of around 27 students with a faculty to student ratio of 1 to 10. So you're not just going to be a number, you will be expected to engage and really take ownership over your educational experience. One way in which students will do that is through different experiential learning opportunities like research, study abroad, internships. Research is really huge at BU. We devote about $1 million a year for student research. So it's really important that our students are able to engage in hands-on learning experiences. And they can do that domestically or they can do that internationally. Many of our students will graduate having completed at least one internship, but some folks will graduate having completed internships abroad, which is a great opportunity to graduate with international work experience that makes our students really marketable when they're in the job field. And when they come back to campus, they're guaranteed housing for all 4 years. So you don't ever have to worry about where you're going to stay. You have a plethora of options to choose from. I encourage you all, if you can, participate in one of our virtual tours or come to campus so that you really can see BU for all of kind of its breadth. We have over 450 clubs and organizations. They're going to range from folks who are interested in academics or community service, cultural groups and organizations, but we definitely have a robust community. One of very popular activity in sport is hockey. You'll see that really loud and proud on BU's campus. When students are applying to Boston University, you have a few pathways to apply to BU. You can apply early decision 2, or regular decision. I just encourage everyone to keep note of dates. Obviously, early decision is going to be binding, early decision 2 also, and it allows you to find out early, but you're also making the commitment without necessarily being able to shop around financial aid packages. So just keeping that in mind. When students are applying to Boston University, they can apply through the Common Application, Coalition App, or QuestBridge application. These are all of the components that we're going to look at. In addition to your personal statement through the Common App, or Coalition App, or QuestBridge app, we'll also have a supplemental essay. Why Boston University? So just keeping that in mind as you all are preparing your applications. Do your research, make sure we get to hear your voice. Just as it is important to get admitted to an institution, it's also important to be able to afford that institution. So BU meets 100% demonstrated need for all of our first year students. We require you to fill out the FAFSA and the CSS profile. So please make sure that those documents are completed as well. If you do have questions about different aid options, we have that on our website, but we also offer 2 merit-based scholarships. The trustee and presidential. The trustee is full tuition and the presidential is $25,000 a year. The trustee scholarship, which is full tuition, also requires an additional essay. So just making sure that you're keeping, really being mindful of all of your kind of supplemental materials as you are navigating this process. Additionally, we will have a lot of supports and different offerings taking place for students who are interested in Boston University. So please feel free to check out kind of all of our online offerings just to make sure that we're able to answer your questions. I think I may have gone a little quicker than I anticipated, but I'm going to stop sharing so I think we can offer some opportunities to ask questions.
Absolutely. All right, thank you. All right, so I'm going to ask all my presenters to come back on camera, and I have a couple of questions at the end for all of us to answer, and we're just going to go in the order that we presented. So our first question of the evening is, what's one thing you want students to remember about your school?
So for Goucher, I think the most important thing to remember is our commitment to interdisciplinary education. So through those core courses that you are taking, learning not just within your major, but across the disciplines as well.
At Hampshire, you are the architect of your education. We do not have any class requirements, so you get to put together what your areas of study are with support from your advisor. So straight out student direction from the beginning.
I would just say the opportunity of the campus, the community, and the region that Lowell is in.
I would say the identity of a women's college and really wanting to bring all aspects of identity into the classroom, and being in a space where over 60% of your faculty identify as women is pretty rare and pretty cool.
I think BU is just a transformative space where students can really grow into the institution and discover who they are with a variety of academic opportunities, research, etc. So you don't have to know exactly what you want to do. You'll have that time to explore and figure it out.
Thank you. All fabulous answers. All right, our next question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process?
So this might be hard, but my biggest piece of advice is to make sure that the search is your own. Take advice from your family members and from your friends and teachers, but ultimately it is where you will be attending. So make sure that you are making your own choice.
That's great. I love that. See as many colleges as you can. Look at the schools that are big, that are small, that you are interested in, and see a few you're not interested in. It'll make you love the one that you want to go to.
This might seem rather like simplistic, but making an email account just for college is great because A, everything's in one place. And also on a personal note, like B, we don't get emails from email accounts like Ladies Man, like at Gmail, like it's not going to hurt you, but it's also not helpful. So having your own email account makes it very simple.
I would say don't be afraid to ask questions. I know that in the college admissions process, we use a lot of big words like binding decisions and the FAFSA. And if you need us to define something, don't be afraid to ask. We're all humans on the other side of your applications reading it, and we're here really to help you break down that process.
Trust in yourself and trust in the process. I think at this point, folks can get really self-deprecating in this process because you don't feel like it's going well. And I just want to let you know, you all have made it here and you are doing the right thing, and just continue to really push that as your message. And I promise you will be successful as you have been.
Oh, fabulous answers. Thank you. And we actually have time for one more. What is the one myth you would like to debunk on the college admissions process?
That we are scary. We were also college or high school students going through this process. We are here to help you. So reach out. We will answer your questions.
I think there's going to be a theme here. Most college admissions counselors want to be admissions counselors, not denial counselors. We want to help. We want to be there for you. Reach out to any one of us. We're here.
Two great things so far. I would just say that there's no, for schools that are test optional, there's no hidden agenda of like, you should send it because we're trying to test you. We truly do not care. And us in the admissions office, we usually don't care about SAT scores. So if you're poor testing, if you don't like your scores, don't send them in. There's no like hidden trick in there. Please just consider that.
Similarly to no hidden tricks, I would say there's no formula for writing the best essay or the essay that we all want to see. I think the most important thing is that when I'm reading your essay, I get to know something about you. I can tell that it's in your own voice, not the voice of somebody who is maybe helping you with it or editing it. So that's really a space on the application that we can get to know you outside of your GPA. And so take the time to sit with that essay and write about something that really resonates with you.
On that same note, I would also say that you can be very, set boundaries when you're writing your essays, and make sure that you are being kind of respectful of your own experience. You do not have to pour out all the things that you've gone through or experienced, especially if that doesn't feel safe. So you can hold stuff close to you. We want to get to know you and do that to the best that you feel you're comfortable with.
All fabulous pieces of advice. Thank you so much for being wonderful and sharing all the wonderful things about your colleges and universities. If you guys have not already grabbed their contact information from the chat, please grab that now as I kind of wrap us up for the evening. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. And when we close out this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. We appreciate any feedback that you can provide. We encourage you to check back the schedule and sign up for more sessions. There will be some more sessions on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. You will be able to find this session's recordings as well as the other session recordings at strivescan.com/BrooklynTech. Again, thank you for such a great evening. I enjoyed listening to every one of our presenters. I hope you did as well. Have a great night. Thank you.